All right, how's it going? I'm trying out a new lens. This little area looking any different. Hopefully the background's a little bit more out of focus. Just there's that's that. Uh, in addition to this is kind of political, I guess. But in addition to political stuff, I also want to, like I said, videos that interest me and like some stuff, maybe like financial stuff as well. But we're gonna get into the Jeff Bezos steps down as Amazon CEO. As retailer starts new chapter. Also, if you want to follow me and support me, you can do that with my subscribe star. I don't know why it says 18 plus for there. I don't think I do anything that's horrible. Anyway, there's that. So let's get into this. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos stepped down as CEO on Monday, handing over the reins, and this came out July 6th, so Monday. What? No. Tuesday. Today is Wednesday morning. It's like 4:40 a.m. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos steps down as CEO on Monday, or maybe they're talking about this coming Monday. Handing over the reins as the company navigates the challenges of a world fighting to emerge from the coronavirus pandemic. And is it Andy Jassy, who ran Amazon's cloud computing business, replaced Bezos, a change the company announced in February. Because I heard about that in February, and I thought that back in February he had stepped down, but he's not stepping down until either Monday or this coming Monday. Bezos, Amazon's biggest shareholder with a stake worth $180 billion. See, a lot of people, we'll get into it here, but a lot of people are confused. They're like, oh, he's worth like hundreds of billions of dollars. Yes, potentially his net worth is, but he doesn't have like billions of dollars. And well, he may have. He doesn't have like hundreds of billions of dollars just like in cash, just laying around. It's like probably the majority of it's invested in like stocks and like real estate and stuff. It was like rich people usually don't hold on to large amounts of cash unless they're going to purchase something, because it doesn't make sense. Because like with inflation, and even in a savings account, you'll lose money year over year if you don't have it invested somewhere. Will still hold sway over the company. He started out of his Seattle garage in 1995. He takes over the role of executive chair with plans to focus on new products and initiatives. I'm gonna go with Jassy. I don't know. Takes the helm of a $1.7 trillion company that benefited greatly from the pandemic, which it did. But I think Amazon just kind of like, there's an opportunity presented, and they like stepped in. Because I know Walmart did a lot of online shipping as well. Because like a lot of places, it was crazy though, because they'd keep like Walmart and Target and all these other like big main corporate stores open, but competing like small mom and pop grocery stores, they'd come down, like they came down like, yeah, you can't operate. I'm like, but Walmart's open. Like, yeah, that's different. Like it's almost like a what do you call it? A consorted effort to like kind of shut down like mom and pop businesses, like small business, because it was small businesses. I don't know if it still is, but they were like the majority of businesses in America. More than tripling its profits in the first quarter of 2021 and posting record revenue as customers grew even more dependent on online shopping. Because a lot of stuff got shut down, so you couldn't go to the store, or they made it a huge hassle with the mask and all that stuff. So maybe even more people ordered stuff from online, because I think even Amazon now has the is it like the fresh market, or like they have like their grocery option where you can like order the stuff there and you can get it. I don't know if you can get it the same day without paying for it, but I think I could probably like order something now, then get it like in a 2-hour window at some point tomorrow for free, essentially, if I order more than like $35. Because I buy stuff off Amazon. Because there's a lot of people that hate it and like, oh, you shouldn't buy off Amazon. There's like some stuff that is sold on Amazon that I can't get other places. A lot of that deals with like certain camera equipment and stuff, because like certain camera stores around here are like Best Buy. They don't have it, so I have to order it there, or it's like B&H or something. Which B&H technically is local to New York, but I don't know. That's whatever. At the same time, Amazon faces activism from a resistive workforce, just as a rapid economic recovery causes a labor crunch that has retailers, manufacturers, and other companies competing for workers with higher wages and other benefits. Well, they're starting hiring. Amazon at $17 an hour. We'll get into it here in a little bit. Actually, we'll get into it right here. The company defeated an attempt by workers to unionize at an Alabama warehouse early this year. I have the link to that video up here because I just did that the other day, or the follow-up to it. But faces a more formidable challenge as the International Brotherhood of Teamsters launches a broader effort to unionize Amazon workers. You want to see that? Like I said, I had that through up there. But they're starting hiring at like $17 an hour with like $1,000 sign-on bonus. I remember people were like, "Oh, we got to have $15 an hour," and Amazon met that. I think even Target went up to that as well. Then now I'm looking at comments and I'm saying like, "Oh, we need $25 an hour. $25 an hour. That's the livable wage." I'm like, it's just people are going to like keep going higher and higher and higher. And the thing they don't understand is like when like the minimum wage, I think minimum wage itself, especially on a federal level, should be abolished. Maybe on a state level and local level, maybe. But like a federal one, no, that should be that. I'm against most of all. The federal's gotten way too powerful. The federal government has, essentially. Like, it should be local and like your local city, county, state. That should be federal's overreaching by a lot. But what was I going to say? But yeah, like they were asking for 15, they got 15, now they want more, and they're just going to keep going up and up and up. But when like the minimum wage is raised, everything becomes more expensive. And when everything becomes more expensive, the people working for the minimum wage, essentially through their buying power, become, you could say, more poor. Or they can't buy as much with what they have now, even though they're making more. So it's a terrible idea all around. Bezos also attracted attention last month after a report by investigative news outfit ProPublica, citing leaked IRS documents, said he paid a true tax rate, see how that's in quotations, of only 1.1% as his wealth surged by $127 billion between 2006 and 2008. And if we get into it here, the ProPublica report focused on what it calls the true tax rate, which it defines as how much in taxes were paid by the wealthiest Americans annually versus the estimated growth in their wealth during that time. For instance, Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos paid $1.4 billion in personal federal taxes between 2006 and 2018. On $6.5 billion he reported in income, while his wealth increased by $127 billion during the same time period. During that same period, by ProPublica's calculation that reflects a true tax, your wealth doesn't get taxed. Your income gets taxed. But some tax experts noted that the analysis compares what they say are apples to oranges, income versus wealth. The IRS collects taxes on earned income and income received through stock sales, dividends, and other income provided by investments. It doesn't levy taxes on unrealized gains or the paper value of a person's assets. It's a little unfair to calculate the fairness element based on total net worth. Mark Streiber, Jackson Hewitt's chief tax information officer, told CBS Money Watch that they didn't say they paid unfair tax based on income. They said it was based on their worth. So, for example, say you have somebody that's a public school teacher that worked 20, 30 years, 40 years, and has like retired now. There's a good chance, especially with the house and like a 401k that they put into that let's say their house is like 500,000 and their the 401k or whatever they paid into is $1 million. Say their house is completely paid off, they don't have to worry about that. They hit, was it 69? No, 65? Or is it 59 and a half? They're in their 60s, they're retired. Now, because of the investments that they have, that $1 million in like stocks, bonds, index funds is very conservative. So with dividends, they're getting paid through dividends $40,000 a year. They're like $1 million is netting them roughly 4% of income, which is standard for a conservative portfolio. So their net worth is 1.5 million, but their income is 40,000. So they'd be getting taxed on the 40,000. But the way they kind of like misguide it and skew this would be like, oh, they're only paying a little bit of taxes on their wealth of 1.5 million. Like, no, you're not. Wealth is your wealth. Not until you get dividends that count as income, or you sell stocks for a profit. A lot of people, so a little side note here, if they like at the end of the year, if they've sold stocks for like a profit, they can look at other stocks they have that have decreased, and they can sell those at a loss, and because of that, they can take that loss and put it against their profit and either shrink it or take it completely out. It's like tax loss harvesting. It's just the way taxes work, because you only pay on profits. But yeah, I don't like the way that we have to like start keeping a watch on the way true tax rate. No, it's not how it works. That whole thing irked me. In a blog post to employees earlier this year, Bezos said he planned to devote more time to side projects, including his space exploration company, Blue Origin, his philanthropic, is that how you say it, initiatives, and overseeing the Washington Post, which he owns. It is, we'll get into it here at the end too, but it's like he owns Amazon, Washington Post. I think they said like MGM. So they're getting on a little of the a little bit like monopolistic. How Facebook kind of owns like Facebook, and then they got Instagram. And I think they bought some other stuff as well. But we've done crazy things together and then made them normal. Bezos wrote, outlining a list of Amazon's initiatives, customer reviews, one click. So that one click is I remember that being something big, because like the less hurdles you have between someone like purchasing, like if you have one click turn on, you can just click it, which I make sure I don't have that on because I want to go through and confirm whether I want to get something or not. But if you have one click on, it's like the least amount of steps and the least resistance you have to somebody purchasing something, the more likely they are to buy it. But personalized recommendations, primes, insanely fast shipping. That is true too. I can get a lot of stuff like next day or 2 day shipping. People want to like hate on Amazon, but they've innovated in a lot of ways. Just walk out shopping. Yeah, I think in Seattle or Portland or somewhere up in there, they have like Amazon stores where you literally go in, you pick up stuff, and you don't like traditionally check out. You just pick it up. Then you walk out the store, and like all the cameras like have you and have your stuff registered and like whatever it is and all that. The Climate Pledge, Kindle, Alexa, Marketplace, Infrastructure, Cloud Computing, Career Choice, and much more. First up, the richest person in the world by Forbes estimate will fulfill his childhood dream of traveling to space. Bezos, 57, will blast into space on July 20th when Blue Origin's New Shepard rocket makes its first flight with the crew, bringing along his younger brother Mark, an investor and volunteer firefighter. Bezos, who is worth an estimated $200 billion, will travel along with the rest of the crew more than 60 miles above the planet's surface into suborbital space. A lot of his, I'm thinking a lot of his wealth is just in Google stock. The last time I looked at Google stock, it was like it was around like 3,500 per share. Because I contemplated getting some, but it's a very expensive share. But if he owns, as I would imagine he would, as like the founder of Amazon, if he founded Amazon and he has like, I don't know, probably hundreds of thousands of shares or millions of shares, how much ever, like, it's like that would be an insane amount. That would be like probably the majority of his net worth. Then if he needs money, he can sell like a small portion of it to raise capital for whatever it is. Bezos founded Amazon as an online bookstore and built it into a shopping and entertainment empire that is the second largest private employer in the U.S. behind Walmart. Amazon, which is buying the MGM studio in its latest major acquisition, now makes movies and sofas, owns a grocery store, and plans to send satellites into space to beam internet service to Earth, which I thought with the space stuff and with the satellite thing too, I believe obviously Elon Musk is doing SpaceX, but I think he was doing Starlink as well with the satellite internet services. Jassy, who has been with Amazon since 1997, ran the cloud computing business that powers video streaming site Netflix and many other companies, making it one of Amazon's most profitable businesses. Among Jassy's challenges are growing calls for tighter regulation on tech giants. A report by the House Judiciary Committee in October called for possibly breaking up Amazon and others, making it harder for them to acquire companies and imposing new rules to safeguard competition. Also, going back to the minimum wage for 15, they were like Amazon got behind it and was like pushing it and was trying to help push it for like federal regulation, which a lot of people would be like, oh, they're pushing for 15. I think what it is like there's such a massive corporation that they're able to pay that much. And if they help force federally 15 an hour, there's going to be a lot of people or a lot of smaller businesses that like run on very thin margins that aren't able to pay that because they're a small business. And that will essentially like squeeze them out of the marketplace. And while Bezos is stepping down, some analysts expect him to continue playing a key role in guiding Amazon. Neil Saunders, managing director of research firm Global Data, expects the entrepreneur will remain involved, especially in helping the company remain innovative, which is probably true because he's just going on the board instead of being the CEO, which will probably he'll probably still be like very influential in the company, but it'll take less pressure off of him because I think with like Twitter, like Jack Dorsey isn't this, maybe he is at some point he like stepped down or got fired or relieved as like CEO, but he's like still on the board, I believe. So that's kind of like a similar thing. But there is that. I don't know. Do you love Amazon? Do you hate Amazon? Do you not really care? It seems like a lot of people, especially I'm like doing this stuff. I'm like online a lot, so I see a lot of like people like bashing on Amazon and like paying workers a fair wage and all this stuff, and there's such horrible conditions. Because there's like a TikTok video like somebody was making an announcement like your break doesn't start at like 9:59, it starts at 10. They're like, oh, this is slave labor is what it is. I'm like, you don't have to work there if you don't want to work there. Go work somewhere else. Like warehouse jobs like aren't glamorous jobs, but they pay relatively good and usually have like decent, benefits and stuff. So it is what it is. That's my thoughts on that. Like usual, I'll put this on YouTube, Facebook, Minds. I'll share it on Gab. Subscribe to start here. I'll plug this again if you want to do this. I still need to work on the Teespring shirts and stuff. I'm trying to figure out a way to do it where like they won't immediately take it down because it's so edgy. I don't know. I just like posting edgy stuff, but it gets like on TikTok. I have a TikTok account that's like essentially shadow banned all the crap because I've just make people mad, I guess. But that's that. So have a good one.